Welcome, everyone. This is Zelda Kelly, and thanks for being here, seeing crime just like me. And I'm going to thank you, each and every one of you, because believe me, you let me know how it is in the comments, and I want you to do that, and I appreciate that. I love it. And for that reason, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe and click on the notification bell if you haven't already. Or if you have, please like this video because it sure does help me, and I love bringing these to you. This is episode 27, if I haven't said that already, of Seeing Crime, and today we have a different video for you. I have it. We, the spirits aligned, have a different video for you. Now, I want to do some introductions. First of all, this is the Hermit card, which is Virgo, which is Brian Albert. This is our dear John O'Keefe. Rest in peace, John. He is a Sagittarius and makes him the Temperance card. And funny enough, oddly enough, interestingly enough, I'll say it that way, this Temperance card means that someone is attracted to law enforcement. And that certainly was John. He was very good at it. This gal here is the Star card in the Zodiac. It is the Aquarius, and that is Jennifer McCabe. Yeah. And this is our Karen Reed. She is a Pisces and a very intuitive gal. And we know that for sure, that she is very intuitive. And you hear Riley in the background. He's sitting here right with me. And yeah, that's our introductions. I want to introduce the cards that we have on the table for this reading, and that is the Vintage Tarot, the Hidden deck, the Kipper deck that we always lay a foundation out with, and then we have a grand, well, I'm going to say it. It is a Lenormand Grand Tableau Oracle deck, and it will help give us some guidance and direction in some of these things as well. But I'm going to put this to the side, and I have some questions for all of you because, you know, this is one of these cases with Karen Reed that the more you get into it, the more confusing it certainly can be, even though it's pretty much cut and dried as far as I'm concerned, because we know who is doing what where. And I have a little special something that I want to share with you at the end, so please stay with me, if you will, on this. One of the points that I want to talk about is that over this past weekend, I have been really meditating on this because I would love to get some type of message from John as to what has happened, where things went. Now we have this Julie Nagel, we have Sarah Levinson, and of course we have all the rest of the bad actors of Prince Albert, King Albert, Jen McCabe, even Matt McCabe sticks his little head in there somewhere, the man behind the woman. And then we have Higgy Baby, Brian Higgins, who, I've got to share this with you. Don't know if you know this. He got accommodation in November of 2010 because he went in the line of fire and fatally wounded someone who was shooting at their officers. And there was a man down, and he went to this man and tried to help with his injuries. Now, the officer with his injuries, and then stepped out into the line of fire and fatally wounded the person who shot this other officer. He's no stranger to drama, none whatsoever. And John expresses that and has expressed that this past weekend in the reading. I want to tell you something about John that I know all of you know, but I think it's very significant in these readings. First of all, he was found face down in the snow. It was Karen Reed and Carrie Roberts that rolled him over to give him CPR. But at one point, it was John sitting up. Now, when was he doing this? He was sitting up because of the stains, and I'm not going to say what they were from, but you know what it is. The stains shown that they were running down through his shirt, through his clothing. And that, pardon me, there's a disclaimer there. Pardon me for anybody who gets a little woozy. So if that happens, please do me a favor and click off at this point. Resume in a little bit. But there was vomit found in his underwear. Now, you can't have that type of gravity pull, I'm going to say it that way, when you're laying flat on your back, as they want to just basically want everybody to think that he was found flat on his back. You can't especially have it if he's laying on his stomach in the snow. He was sitting up. Now, why would there be the vomit? Well, because the man had a concussion. He bit his tongue, he had a concussion, and that's what happens. And then things started escalating very, very quickly. The other thing that I want to make sure that I understand, and that I think all of you do, is the CW wants to pretty much pretend to us or tell us, I don't trust anything. That's why I say pretend. It may be a fact that John was unalived at 12:45 a.m. on the 29th. We'll keep that in mind. But there's another few things here that I want to get into. And that is that Karen didn't want to go inside. But there is something that we tend to glide over. There was a Karina. Now, her last name, I'm not going to say because if I butcher another name, I don't want to. So her last name starts with a K. I'm going to call her Karina K. So I don't, because I mean no disrespect when I do that. So Karina testifies that Jen McCabe, I think she overheard Jen McCabe say that she told Karen that when they were getting ready to go over to 34 Fairview, that she wanted Karen to ride with her. And Karen asked, why? Where are we going? Now that's key. I want you all to think about that. Karen asked, where are we going? And Jen says, never mind, paraphrasing, never mind, it'll be a surprise. But then Karen decides to drive John over there. Now, Karen gets there, and I'm going to interject this, and this is my opinion only. Karen pulls up. She knows Brian Albert's reputation. Did Brian ever make a pass at Karen? I mean, I don't know. Brian's got that reputation. Big time. He likes the women. Was there something about Jen? Was there something? But I'm going to tell you what I think it is. I think that Karen was not invited. She knew that John was invited. There was that little, push and pull thing that they had at the bar, and they were all, whatever. But Karen, I feel, did not feel that she was officially invited. If she did, why would she ask Jen, where are we going? Karen was brought up with a family that had class. Karen's got class. You don't go in anywhere that you're not invited. Even if John invited her in, if that were me, I wouldn't have gone in. I would have said, no, you're invited. If they wanted to invite me, they would have invited me. They didn't. Let's fast forward and go into the time that Jen had her phone charging in the kitchen, and she kept checking. And she made a remark to someone that someone is coming. Not a couple. Not a couple of people are coming. More are coming. It's someone that is coming. I feel that John was supposed to go in there with the boys. They were going to have a little talk. And then Jen was going to pull up with Karen. And then it would have been muck, mire, and mayhem from there. And it didn't turn out that right. Now, it seems that Jen and Matt McCabe kept looking out the window. Was that so they could watch Karen drive away? Yeah, probably. Because I think John actually got in the tussle before. I think right immediately when he got in the house and he went downstairs. And it says the geo descriptions say that John went upstairs. His phone shows that there was an upstairs. Well, I think those upstairs were the stairs in the basement going out the bulkhead. I don't think they were going upstairs in the house. I think they were going up the steps from the basement. That's in my opinion only. Now, at the same time, now here's another little tidbit, and then we're going to start deep diving, okay? So indulge with me. At the same time, we have Prince Albert, Colin Albert, who is ready to go at 12:33, and he starts calling. He even called the one, I think her name was Erin Beatty, and was calling to see if he could get a ride, and there was no answer. So he was trying to get a ride to go home. Seemed like there was a complete rush. I think there was a rush to get him out of there. I think something had happened and they wanted him gone. That's my idea of this. They needed to get... Now, do I think that Sarah Levinson knew what had happened during this time? No, I don't. Because I think that she had been outside talking to her brother or someone or boyfriend, someone. She was outside. The same thing with Julie Nagel until later on. There's another little point that I want to make. It seemed like, everybody was upstairs. They were making a lot of noise. They were drinking. Music was on. And at the same time, all of this was happening in the basement. They didn't know this. But then all of a sudden, they wanted to be ushered home. It was Jen McCabe and Matt McCabe who offered to give rides to Julie and Sarah. Now, first of all, I've got to say this. Everyone was drinking. And it was the younger people that were calling for the rides to go home. How smart are they? And it was the older ones thinking that they were above it. Now, they were ushering them out. Everybody was trying to get the house cleared. So whatever they needed to do, they could do. And that's my question. In the meantime, there's all these calls going from Jen McCabe's phone. She's calling John several times, calling after the incident, as if she didn't know, in my opinion. I want you to think about these things. And then we hear that Brian Higgins, Higgy Baby, shows up in a sling. Was he bit by Chloe? In one of the previous videos that I was talking about this, he had told a story to someone about how he saw this fight happen and that he tried to pull Chloe off of John and Chloe turned on him. Higgy is no stranger to these tussles and this sort of thing, but neither is Brian Albert, who also showed up with injuries. Okay, so now let's get into this. One last thing I want to say is, as they were pulling off, it was Julie Nagel who said she saw a black blob That was her testimony. That's what she told AJ. A black blob in the snow. Why on earth wouldn't you say something? Why didn't you say something? Let's lay a foundation, my friends. And then we're going to really get into this. Because these things, wow. I know you all know this. I was late to the Karen Read trial. I came in at about day 9 or 10, I think is what it was. We're laying out the Kipper deck. We're going to get a foundation. And then I'm going to tell you a connection here that I think puts it all together for us. All right. So I'm laying the Kipper foundation, and it is this. First card is the High Honor, number 25. And the Courthouse card. Doesn't surprise us any, does it? Number 23. 27. Unexpected income. Yeah, we're about to have some incoming. For a mature male, number 5. I'm going to lay 2 more of these out. A false person, we know who that is. And a message of concern. Okay, this is what I'm going to tell you. I also believe that Trooper Proctor is also, in my opinion now, considered not the sharpest tool in the shed, but he also knows that there was a connection. There was a connection with the Miss Birchmore case. I've got so many names here, pardon me. I'm going to try not to get them flubbed up. So, with Miss Birchmore's case, he was close to that person in Stoughton that know this, and so is Brian Albert. And I'm going to be doing a reading on Miss Birchmore soon. But Brian Albert knew, because Brian Albert has been involved with several different things like this in the past. And you know, the more you cover up and the more you do, the easier it seems to get. And they just thought this was going to go away. They get Proctor. Proctor was low-hanging fruit. Proctor was not the sharpest tool in the shed, in my opinion, and they just thought they could manipulate him. And that's why all the phone calls from Jen McCabe and all that type of stuff. He might be good for writing tickets. We'll see. What this means, the High Honor, I'm going to say this. This has been, you see, this has been a fight. This has been literally some type of conflict, a battle going on. And we see that battle in the Courthouse card because that battle is about to really start beginning. Because, my darlings, by the end of this week, guess what's going to happen? And I'm also going to tell you that there will be some surprise information coming other than Lolly, I feel, in my opinion, trying to intimidate a few people who have contacted him, telling him how things were decided and verdicts were voted on, in my opinion. You know, when they have these battle movies where they say, everybody duck, incoming. Well, I'm going to say with this particular card, there's going to be an unexpected income of messages concerning the CW and the dark side. I like to call them the dark side because basically that's what it is. This is a cover-up that it will go down in history. There is a mature male. This could be any one of them. I'm just going to say any one of these men. And you're going to see, my darlings, what I mean about this. This fits in, and I want you to just hang in there till the end of this video, because I have something I'm going to share with you. False person, we definitely know who that false person is. And I'm also going to say on the 8th of August, the day before Karen is supposed to be getting in and going to court, and her lawyer, this is her lawyer. Okay, the new lawyer on the team. That's what makes sense. It just came to me because of the courthouse showing up. It's the new lawyer on the team who's going to be fighting for that appealing of the verdict or motion, some whatever they've got going on. Bless their hearts, my gosh. I tell you, Karen is probably one of the toughest people that I know. And by the way, I got an indication that her house is sold. I do not believe it was as much as what she wanted for it, but she's happy and relieved. So prayers for Karen and her little house. But there's going to be some concerning information come out on the 8th. We're going to be hearing from a lot of people. Oh, look who showed up. I think it's rare that John shows up in a reading, but this has showed up. But I'm going to also share here with you. The CW wants us to think that they've got Karen imprisoned. But I also want you to know, look at this. This is a number 8. This is a number 8. I want you to look at this card very closely. This card shows that these swords, these 8 swords, don't go all the way around this. I'm going to say Karen. She's not in prison. She's bound. She's out on bail. But they know they're not going to get to this end. Lolly knows this. The CW knows they're not going to be able to go through with this now. Because information like this water is still flowing through Karen's defense team. And you see, she's going to walk right out of this. Yes, my friends. This is a card that basically shows that this is a 2 of Pentacles, meaning they're waiting for more incoming. They're waiting for their ship to come in. There's 2 ships. They're basically juggling. They're juggling information. They're juggling some things. Now, I don't know if I can even get you a prediction for what's going to happen, because I know it's going to be appealed any which way, but I do feel that there's going to be a celebration for Karen. And they're going to take it as a win, whether I do not see this is going to go in their favor. However, this attorney is really going to make an impact, and if they appeal it, he's going to take it forward. I think they're planning on that, to be quite frank with you. This Ace of Pentacles, this is an indication. You see this benevolent hand coming out of the cosmic unknown or the heavens above, bringing money, and that is the sale of Karen's house coming forward. This Ace of Pentacles is a timing card, and it is definitely good timing for Karen. I love this. Now, I'm going to show you something that y'all are going to laugh at. And everybody I ever tell this to, they say, oh my gosh, I see it. And write in the comments if you do me a favor and let me know if you all see this. I'm told this little fella here looks like John Travolta. And I'll tell you, I don't know what it is, but every time I see this card, so I had to share it with you, everyone. This is the 9. Oh, the 9th. Okay, this is the 9 of Cups. It's an emotional card. Wow. Okay, guys. Here we go. Let's watch. Because the 9 of Cups tells us, and you see how he's got them lined up behind him like little trophies. He's sitting there. He is accomplished. I feel that they are going to accomplish what they have set out to do, because this particular card is the yes card, the wish fulfilled, the dream come true, the manifestation card. It means yes, eventually it's going to happen. I do believe they are expecting good things, but they are also expecting to need to be appealing this. So if you see that they don't win this motion or this hearing, whatever it happens to be, do not get upset, because they're not. Sometimes it's better to move on. Sometimes it's better because, everybody's like, oh, well, Karen, she's spending so much on this. Well, my darlings, they're also costing the CW a lot of money. And many a lawyer looks at this that I know of and basically say, what in the name of all that's holy is the CW thinking? Their case is falling apart rapidly at breakneck speeds with all of these expert witnesses that they have. And they have these handful of little witnesses for the defense. And look at what they have accomplished. When the feds hired, I believe it's ARCA, was it? When the feds hired that agency to help with expert opinion, you see, I want you to know something. It's not that they don't care about the Karen Read case. They do. It's the fact that they are there for the corruption end of it. When they can prove corruption, the Karen Read case goes away. That's why they're there. The defense could not get the CW and Lolly through his lollygagging part of this whole nutcase stuff that he's trying to do and pull. Pardon me, it's my opinion. I shouldn't get that. But sorry to be so bombastic there. But trying to get all of these things, messing them up, inverting videos, not giving them the right documents, making sure that some documents go to Proctor only and not to the defense, and doing this and doing that. He has done nothing but putting stumbling blocks into this case. And that's why the feds came in, because they're not only investigating this, they're investigating others as well. Birds of a feather flock together, but so do rats and mice. That's why there is a tie between Proctor and Birchmore, the Alberts and Birchmore, and they think they can manipulate the outcomes to serve their purpose. What is their purpose? They are drunk with power. They power hungry. They love to think we are that family. When, in my opinion, they just be a bunch of thugs. Here's the card that's most interesting, my darling. And I know all of you say it, don't worry, but this is a long video. I love you. Hang in there. Thank you, though. This Temperance card, this is our John O'Keefe. But I want to prove something. I got my little pen pointer here. Do you see this little, I know you do, this little emblem on this beautiful angel's garment? This little emblem, this triangle, is a trinity. But not only this whole card is about balance. It is about making sure that there is balance between the physical, the spiritual, and the material. Making sure, you see how she is pouring water between the two cups. She's got one foot on the ground, one in the water. There's two. There's a reference of two everywhere we are. This card also tells us this water is flowing down a path. And some people say this is a sun, but this is a crown. And this is the crowning glory, the end of the project, and the goal to where the defense needs to be, and for John's sake. This angel is enlightened, in which she has these red wings. She brings enlightenment to this particular case. And not only that, my darlings, this is a card that also talks about the balance between the subconscious and the conscious mind. It gets pretty deep, but John is here overlooking things. And I'll tell you why. John does not want, I know that they were having problems. Look, we've all had problems in our relationships, right? Now comes the Grand Tableau. You're going to like this deck. Look, we've all had relationship problems. We've all had those third-party stinkers who want to stick their nose in. We've all had issues. And sometimes when they become public, it ain't pretty. We all know that. But he would never in his life want Karen to take the fall for something that she didn't do. He knows she didn't. That's why he showed up here. He is looking over things. He knows she did not take the fall for him. He knows this. Let's cut the cards and we'll see what we can find out further. This book. I want to tell you something about this book. First of all, it's the 10 of Diamonds. I had to think there for a second, my darlings. The 26th, I don't know. I can't remember. I'm told the 26th, 27th, something like that for the date for the trial, but I'm going to tell you, I think we're going to get really close, and I hope we do, and I'll tell you that why and that in a minute. This is a book, my darlings. This book can be knowledge, wisdom. It can be unveiled information coming about, and also can be a change of residence. My darlings, we all know that a gentleman by the name of, well, his initials are B.A., is grossly involved in this. This 10 of Diamonds means that that is a success card, but they're treating it as though it is a business. Once again, it is, these people, don't you just want to mind this? Okay. A vast wasteland, but the country, fresh air. This is the number 6 of hearts. Number 16. And I'm going to tell you something, my darlings. This coming together, you see this 6 of hearts? That means someone has made a sacrifice. And it was poor John. And I'm also going to tell you what I think. I think that it was Prince Albert. I don't think John fell backwards. I think that there was a lot of knuckling going on there, if you want to know what I mean. I think Chloe got upset. She attacks John. And Prince Albert, in all of his wisdom, smacks the tar out of him with a weight in the back of the head. What else can cause? Falling backwards sometimes won't cause a concussion or a gash that deep in your head. I'm saying he has a concussion. That was not in the medical report, and I'm sorry. I don't want to add anything in there or start rumor. But to me, having that type of head injury, of course, for me, logical. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a doctor. I'm a card reader. And nothing I'm telling you is going to be presented in evidence as I present it to you. They don't need me. They've got all this. We're doing this so we can see exactly what's going on. But it was John who made these sacrifices. Let's do one more card. And then we've got this Tower card. This Tower card, you see, there's a little turret. Where's my little pointer at? Here we go. I want you to see all these cards. There's a turret here. Somebody the other day asked me if I said tourist. Maybe there's a tourist up there, but this is a turret up here, and then this is a flag. This doesn't mean what the tarot tower means. This means that there is a change is coming, wisdom, understanding, that how do I want to say it? That the idea of all of this coming forward and through will be a progress. Think of how it would be getting from the bottom to the top. It is a progress to get that done, and that Six of Spades falls in with it is definitely a challenge. Definitely a challenge, my darlings. Oh, I'm sorry, I put my cards upside down, and you don't read these upside down. There's another man there. It is the King of Clubs. Pardon me, and I also hit that. My, oh my. One more card. And it is the Jack of Spades, and it means a young person. You see a little girl here, but that Jack means a young person. So it's not a child. It's more of a teenager, young person. Let's get this, my darlings. Three of Spades, the Eight of Diamonds, Jack of Clubs, King of Diamonds, Eight of Spades. They know that this is a total gamble for them. This is Colin Albert. That is Brian Albert. And my darlings, this here, what did I just say? There is a total interference. There was an interference in John and Karen's relationship. In my opinion, I'm going to say this. This was planned. This was something that it was planned. But it didn't go the way they thought. And they had to do some fast thinking on their feet. That's why all the walking out the window or watching out the windows and all the "where are you" texts and all the butt dials, please. Don't insult our intelligence, Miss McCabe. All this will be coming out and it will be taken care of. Now, I said just a few minutes ago, the reason I like the fact that it is taking, I agree with Sean McDonough. Yes, I agree with him. The more that it takes, because I've seen this in cases throughout my career in life, that the longer the defense can grab onto more information and the longer that more things are going to come out, and it will be, do I think that another trial is going to happen? No, I do not. No, I do not. And the longer this goes on, because one thing, everybody wants to see things happen. I want you to know that we're not seeing a lot of action from Jen McCabe and Matt McCabe and Brian Albert and, these big people. The Little Prince, that guy, we saw some action from him. But those three people, we're not seeing too much from. And I want you to know that you'll know it after the fact. They're not going to announce to the world, hey, we're going to go pick up Jen McCabe, or hey, we're going to go pick up, right now they've not been charged with anything. So we technically, legally can't say they are guilty, even though we know it was accomplished by them. The longer this goes on, because one day, and I still say that during closer to the holiday season is when the gauntlet will start dropping. And we will start seeing after the fact, oh, breaking news, Boston 10 is saying that this person was picked up, or that this person, they have sealed indictments all the time. And if you don't think that they'll indict a bologna sandwich, just ask any lawyer, because it doesn't take much, but the feds are waiting because they want to make sure that they've grabbed it all. And we will see it, but like I said, it will be after the fact, and then we will see more trials come. Now, the Fed trials, we can't see televised, but we'll certainly know what the heck is going on. And I'm going to tell you that all of these bad actors and all these people better prepare. And this is a long one. So come to the end now, and I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. I love you so much. We're in a Mercury retrograde right now. I'm going to leave a link to a video in the description. You're going to see me talk about Mercury retrograde. It is going to affect this case. I'll link that as well. And also, I'm just going to say, I think this next little few seconds that I have to share with you is going to open your eyes. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching. Please like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments how you feel that this is coming out. But look, Karen's going to walk out of this. She's going to walk out. And I will talk to you very soon. Thanks so much. I love you. Bye for now. The early morning of January 29th of 2022, Jennifer McCabe, in all of her butt dials and searches, also searched this particular song from the Weather Girls called It's Raining Men. I want to share some of the lyrics with you because, well, I feel it's a little suspicious, if you know what I mean. It gives me the creeps. It's a little eerie, but let me know how you feel. And it goes like this. Humidity is rising. According to all sources, the street's the place to go. 'Cause tonight, for the first time, just about 10:30, for the first time in history, it's gonna start raining men. It's raining men. Hallelujah. It's raining men. I'm gonna go out to run and let myself get absolutely soaking wet. It's raining men. Every specimen, tall, blonde, dark, and lean, rough and tough and strong and mean. God bless Mother Nature. She's a single woman, too. She took off to heaven and she did what she had to do. She bought every angel and rearranged the sky so that each and every woman could find her perfect guy. I feel stormy weather moving in, about to begin. Hear the thunder, don't you lose your head. Rip off the roof and stay in bed. Rip off the roof and stay in bed. It's raining men. Hallelujah. I don't know how you feel about that, but I can tell you this much. It gives me the creeps. Strong, tall, dark, rough, tough, and mean. Oh, yeah.